Welcome to our podcast celebrating Scottish culture and entertainment, which is here to sing the praises of books, films, comedy, music, theatre, exhibitions, telly, poetry, and all that jazz. I'm Nicola Meehan. I'm an arts writer and broadcaster, and I'll give you the lowdown on what's coming up, what's happening now, what came before, and what we love, which is to say that every week, nearly 3 times this week incidentally, I'm here to give you a kick up the arts. We're back at Scotland's crime writing festival Bloody Scotland for this episode, which is a whistle-stop blether with 3 of the many, many excellent writers who are in my hometown of Stirling this weekend. Tariq Ashkanani's latest widescreen Americana novel, The Midnight King, hones in on a best-selling writer, a father, a widower, and a friendly man who, guess what, is also a serial killer. He chats to me. It won this year's McIlvanney Prize for Best Scottish Crime Book of the Year, leading on from Tariq's 2021 Crime in the Spotlight slot at Bloody Scotland. This is where upcoming writers are given a platform on stage to read their book ahead of lead events at the Albert Hall and thereabouts. So it gives you a platform, gives you an audience. You got to pull it off though, and Tariq did. The Midnight King also follows Tariq's Welcome to Cooper, which won the debut prize in 2022, and this year that garland was bestowed upon David Goodman, another previous Crime in the Spotlight guest incidentally, and that is thanks to his fab novel A Reluctant Spy. This sees a man make a bit of a deal with the devil, for MI6 to say the least. Is there any difference in return for an easier life? Spoiler alert, that's the last thing that happens. I caught up with Tariq and Dave on Friday night at Bloody Scotland, by which I mean a couple of hours ago, and when I got to the green room to chat to them, I was delighted to also bump into the thrilling writer that is Claire Wilson. I live in Stirling, Claire's in Falkirk, we're neighbours, and then some. Her debut, 5x5, which was also up for the debut prize, is an absolutely brilliant book that takes us into the prison system, deep and deep and deep again, and also confronts maybe any prejudices and ideas we might have about what happens inside and outside, who's good, who's bad. But it transpired, and Claire and I have spoken before on the radio, they were actually much more closely connected than we ever knew through family. And that is because on her forearm, Claire Wilson has a tattoo of Kathy Bates. It's a portrait, and as soon as I saw it, and then she looked at me, we realised my wee brother had done that tattoo for her about 5 years ago. Everything is connected. So we talked about that, we talked about the books, we chatted with Tariq and Dave, we had a blether. You can hear people coming in and out the doors. I'll tell you more about the books at another time, but for now, here's to Claire, here's to Tariq, here's to Dave, and here's to Bloody Scotland. You have on your arm a picture of Kathy Bates tattooed by my wee brother.
I'm absolutely shocked that that is your wee brother, and it just shows you what a small world it is at times. And I mean, if you're looking for a portrait, he is the person to go to in Scotland. He is fantastic. I mean, he does this. He's done this portrait of like Kanye West. He does Gaza. He does other football players, and it's just. I mean, I seen a picture the other day there, and it was a picture of Al Pacino, face Scarface, and it's like, what's the picture and what's the tattoo? Because you can't. He's so talented, and I cannot wait to text all my friends that go to him as well and be like, I know his sister. I'm friends with his sister. And will that get me a family mates rate discount?
Anything's possible after this podcast, which has swiftly turned into an advert for him. Yes, I don't actually have any tattoos yet, but yes, you do know me. And I know you look shocked.
I'm shocked at that.
I'm a letdown to the family. As you can see, I can't even paint my nails, and he can do that on human skin. Kathy Bates and otherwise. It's lovely it's Kathy Bates, because I think if we've all got one thing in common round this table, it is an absolute love for whether it's psychological thrillers or whether it's crime fiction in general. And huge congratulations, Tariq, on the McIlvanney Prize.
Thank you.
Now, we're talking about Kathy Bates, and the landscape of your book's fascinating. I fell for it straight away because I love that kind of widescreen America, right? Is that something that's always kind of drawn you in as well?
Yeah, I'm very much drawn to that kind of cinematic. I think I'm quite a visual writer. I always see it in my head, and I definitely am drawn to the kind of visual look of something, and the stuff that I go to, my touchstones are, a lot of them are film, TV, things like True Detective, that kind of back and beyond nowhere, that you kind of put your cops in and drop them in and leave them to the kind of quasi-horror, elements and stuff, and I like that. I think America lends itself to that kind of storytelling because it is so vast, and you can put people in there without any oversight, and you can have corrupt cops and horrible things happening without anyone to help them, and it's a perfect place to write nasty things happening to people, which I love doing.
It's just far away enough, but hugely familiar
yes,
as well,
exactly.
isn't it? And it's lovely that this is all happening in bloody Scotland at the Gilded Golden Lion. I grew up round about here. We had I mentioned this before, we had the Wallace High prom here. And we're never allowed back in the building. So that's all you need to know about that. That was back in the 90s. Right. It's taken 3 decades, is all I'll tell you. I'm going to read this out from the press release because it's very exciting and it sounds wonderful since we're here. The winner of the McIlvanney Prize was revealed in the ballroom with a giant crystal glass on Friday the 12th of September. Mere hours ago, Tariq Ashkanani with the Midnight King. It was presented on stage on the opening night by the winner of the 2024 McIlvanney Prize. I've not seen him yet, but he must be in the building, Chris Brookmeyer. Tell us about your own journey, Tariq, with Bloody Scotland. And, because Dave and Claire will come to you guys, but everyone has quite a close association that goes back years, right? The story begins years before the awards do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is it's a festival that for me has been super supportive for me from the very start. When I think way back to 2021, I think it was, when I was took part in the Crime in the Spotlight, which they do where you get to read a little bit of your book out in front of a panel, and I got to read an excerpt from my first book in front of Ian Rankin's audience. There was about 400 people there to see him, so I mean, it was an amazing opportunity to do that. And then you get to go and sign your books afterwards, with him, which was fantastic. And then a year later, I was up for the debut award for that book as well, and now I'm here for the McIlvanney. And so I genuinely feel it's a festival which supports new authors, more than any other festival I think does, to be honest, and certainly supported me. And I don't think I would be here, and my career would have gone anywhere near as well as it's gone if not for the support that the festival gives. And it really does champion the voices of new authors, and you look at the long list for the McIlvanney this year, and there's a real smorgasbord of established names and big authors and new people like me who are just starting out, and it's great to see everyone gets a chance to be in the spotlight and to have their books shared to a wide audience. It's fantastic.
It's probably my wee brother on that motorbike. That'll him finish the tattoos for the day. You think I'm joking, by the way. He's got a motorbike in the window of his tattoo studio as well. You mentioned the word spotlight there, and I think that's a really kind of important word in many ways, not least because of crime in the spotlight. The winner of the 2025 Bloody Scotland debut prize was revealed to be David Goodman with A Reluctant Spy. And you also, again, have this kind of long and, wonderful relationship with Bloody Scotland, with being in crime in the spotlight and just the community that's kind of grown up around it, David. You can maybe tell us a bit more about that for you.
Absolutely. Because I first came, I've not been coming quite as long as Tariq or Claire, but I came in 2023 to support a friend of mine, Nicholas Binch, who was doing Crime in the Spotlight.
Of course,
And that was my first ever experience of this festival, and I finished the draft of A Reluctant Spy sitting in the cafe in the Albert Halls.
Really?
Yeah, so it was, and I vividly remember sort of sending the email to my editor and then sort of looking across at the signing tables and thinking, wouldn't it be cool if one year I was, sitting there and maybe the books would be in the shop. And then the next year I did Crime in the Spotlight and the book had come out, and I ended up sitting beside Frank Gardner doing my signing there. And then obviously this year with the debut awards. So it's been a series of incredible events, and just it's been amazing. Yeah,
it is amazing, and it's also about the people that you meet at Bloody Scotland, Claire. So we came in today, and it was like, oh, I just met Ian Rankin, and then you got chatting about 5 by 5.
Yep.
They remind us, obviously, again, another incredible book, and the insight into prison life, because Ian has spent bits of it in at the moment, or certainly in Midnight and Blue Rebus was in the clink. But your experience and the way you write about it is quite different, and that's it. He's got the book.
Yes. So after the debut panel this afternoon, Alex Gray supplied us with all copies of our book so that we could promote it. And afterwards, she had told us, you keep that. And so I had spoke to my publicist, and I said, if you see anybody that you think might be receptive to receiving the book, let me know and they can have it. And then we went to the Prime Suspects ceremony downstairs, and when we were piped out, I just happened to follow Ian Rankin, who had been outside the room. And a big saying of mine is, no cheek, no chance. And I asked them, as we were making our way to the ballroom, I asked them, would they be interested in taking the copy? And I think I kind of shoehorned him a wee bit. I think he felt like he had to say yes. And then he said to me, is it signed? And I said, of course, because I thought it was. It wasn't. So he handed me a pen. I was sitting next to him at the award ceremony. He handed me a pen and he demanded that I sign it. So, I mean, it's Sir Ian Rankin.
He's going straight home to put that on eBay?
Oh, well,
listen, you're like, I've got a signed copy of 5x5.
That's fine. That's fine, because my night ended with him taking it. And then when Dave was rightly announced as the winner, he turned to me and he says, there's always next year. And I thought, that is really nice, and it tells you just what Bloody Scotland is all about. It doesn't matter if you're an established writer or if you're an up-and-coming writer, the support is there. I mean, people like Val has been a big support to me, you know, and if it wasn't for Bloody Scotland, I wouldn't be sitting talking to you here right now. It's brought me on. I met Abir Mukherjee in 2022, and I swear, after I met him, my life started changing and things started happening for me.
Really?
He would say that's probably a coincidence and it's nothing but my own hard luck. But I spent a week on a writing retreat with Abir and Louise, and I wasn't supposed to be there. And Val McDermott was supposed to be there, and she pulled out at the last minute. And I was number 5 on the waiting list. And they phoned the first 4 people and on the Monday, and was like, we have this space. And they finally phoned me at 10 to 3, and I was like, got off the phone so I can go and pack. And I was there by 7:30,
Really?
and I met Abir for the first time, and my life has changed since then. And a big thing that I struggled with was my confidence. I had no confidence. And Abir, just the way he spoke to me and at Moniac, which again I would recommend to anybody that wants to write, to go there. It's the best place. And to the point that he would tell us stories about his dad. He tells everybody stories about his dad and how confident his dad was and stuff. So I actually got a tattoo after the week, which he thinks is, well, I don't know what he really thinks, but certainly when we're in company, he likes me to show it off. But I got a Be More Mucker Dad, because that was our expression for the week. So I'm as you can see, I'm such a visual person. All my tattoos mean something. When I was shortlisted for the Capital Crime Award earlier in the year, Capital Crime was my first ever panel as a crime writer. It was my first ever shortlisting, so I got the Capital Crime logo on my leg. I've already got the Bloody Scotland tattoo. I know, I'm a big Bloody Scotland fan. I've been coming. Well. Once I signed my deal with Penguin Michael Joseph, I got the Penguin. So it's just been great. It's just been fantastic. So to know that, I mean, Ian Rankin maybe put the book in the bin on the way out, but as far as I'm concerned, he asked for it to be signed, and he took it away. So
I have no doubt that he meant it, and he'll ask for it and he'll take it. I think what you've just said in so many ways, and the names you've just mentioned, absolutely underscores what is so absolutely wonderful. Not just about Bloody Scotland. We met at Butte Noir.
Yes,
I was
did.
speaking to Val McDermott and Paula Hawkins out there earlier in this summer. Is the sense of community, right? And although these awards are absolutely wonderful, you know, it's brilliant. Congratulations again to both Tariq and David. But at the same time, there's not really the sense of competition. It is very much a sort of sense of community. And I wonder if in many ways that really impacts on and galvanises all of the writing as well, because of the storytelling and the conversations and the possibilities of what can be in a book are opened up to everybody, no matter whether you're starting out or you've got 25 Rebus novels in the bag.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think there's something about the crime writing community which is, I mean, it's certainly way more welcoming than I expected it to be when I first started, and I think there's never a sense of competition. It is much more a sense of everybody wants everyone to rise up and to raise the next person above you and help everyone else out. And I think I've certainly found it to be a really collegiate, really supportive community. You know, this festival is an example, but the people, as you say, the writers who go here, everyone's always super helpful, super happy to chat stuff through, to help you, to give you advice, to bounce plot points off, etc. And it's very welcoming, and I think it is open. Crime is a genre which is a lens on society, and it is a genre which lets you write about kind of current issues that are going through right now, and that affects people from all walks of life and all types of people. And I think that crime is unique, and then it does kind of level that out, and it does encourage people from different backgrounds to come in and bring their unique viewpoint into the genre, and to bring that new voice into something, and that's what keeps crime fresh and keeps it growing, I think.
Yeah. And David, I guess the other thing is, that lovely story you were telling us there about kind of like sitting and looking on and going, I wonder if I could, I wonder if that could ever. Does it allow you to feel like a writer? I mean, clearly you are now. You've just won the debut prize, but there's a point, isn't there, where it's like, am I dabbling? No, I'm not. Do you know what? This is what I am. This is what I do. Because that's crucial.
I think it is, and I think the distinction I always make is there's two jobs really. There's the writing, which is the only guaranteed part, and then there's being an author, which is the fun stuff and the parties and the awards but none of
podcasts.
The podcasts, but none of that is guaranteed at all. So the only thing that the other side of that publishing thing is the people, is meeting different people, meeting Claire. We have the same agency, so we met each other through that. And we've got a group chat for all the debut shortlisters, which I'm hoping they're not going to kick me out of. But
have you had any messages since? No.
Just went silent. Yeah.
I was actually drinking downstairs with Natalie there with it. So it was good. It was nice. We could hate on him, but I'm just kidding. He knows I'm just kidding. He knows when we met at Bloody Scotland last year, and you can totally back me up here. And I told all my friends, and I told Dave, this is the guy that's going to beat me for the debut prize next year. And
really?
And that's how I can't be disappointed at losing, because I've been proven right.
So there you go.
Yep,
You were actually like, yes.
Yep, his book is fantastic, and we've said to each other the times we've seen each other this year that like if I'm losing it, I want to lose it to you. So like I feel fantastic. I mean, you were up on that stage and you were so emotional, and I was sitting there like a proud mother, clapping away so hard, like yes. I was so happy for him.
That's really
so happy.
Lovely. Yeah, vindication as well.
I know, I love it.
But we spoke. I mean, I think we spoke on Radio Scotland. It was maybe the day your book was published.
I think so. It was very close.
It was, and I remember you saying at the time, even just it's the physical format. It's having it in your hands. It's the reality of something that has been spinning around in your imagination and your working life and your life experience, and actually to have that. Yeah,
well, I got the idea for the book back in 2012, and the problem that I had was I knew what the story was, but I didn't know how to execute it. And I would stop writing it, and then I would work on something else, and then I would start writing it. I would pick it back up again. And again, it comes back to the confidence and the lack of confidence that I had, and the editing stage really scared me. So instead of editing and making it perfect, I would just write something new. So I have like a big drawer full of really bad first drafts that I now, with the experience that I've got now, and the stuff that I've learned in the last year or two since I've been working with a professional editor and stuff, I can rework those, and hoping that means that I have like a career in the book world and the crime writing world, and I just want this to be my life. I just want to go to festivals and do podcasts and not have to work for a living. That's the dream, right?
But it is your life.
Yeah,
I mean, that's it. And I loved when I bumped into you in that hotel, and I loved you came up to me because we've spoken over the airwaves, and you don't necessarily know what people look like, and we met over breakfast. We met over the grapefruit juice.
We did. That's right.
Claire came up and said hi, and I was like, it was a bit odd because I just passed Chris Brookmeyer and Marissa having their breakfast. It's like, hi guys. I'm not used to that.
It was weird because the breakfast room, the 2 mornings was just for crime writers, and it's like it's a bit like the Golden Lion bar. You're tripping over crime writers, and again, it's the fact that for me, especially been coming here for such a long time and sitting at the bar, and you're sitting next to Ian Rankin or you're sitting next to Chris Brookmeyer, like, oh my god, like, and now like these people know who I am, and it's the weirdest thing. I mean, Chris Brookmeyer gave me a lovely quote for my book, and every time I see him, and Marissa, they always ask after me and how I'm getting on and stuff, and I'm just like it's weird. Like, how do you know who I am? But obviously we've met a few times now. But it still feels like really weird. Like, I don't know how long or if it'll ever feel normal, but it's good.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
Oh, it's brilliant. Well, listen, I can actually hear the bar going, the legend that is Ewan from Europa Music record shop. I actually interviewed Chris Brookmar through the back in the vinyl section for the podcast this time last year, just after he'd won the McIlvanney Prize. So I think we should go down and maybe see him.
I think so.
And you might be allowed back into the debut group
Well,
if you're lucky.
I mean, it's still a bit raw.
Well, you can come down but sit at another table.
His wife's allowed it in because she's lovely. She's so nice. She gave me such a big hug after the awards, and I'm like, you should be hugging Dave, not me. But again, it just shows you like such a supportive group, whether you're a crime writer, a crime reader, or you've just walked in for a pint and no realising the festival's on. Like, everybody is so friendly and everybody is so approachable, and it is so important for the people that are established to be that approachable because, you know, like, they were once in our shoes, and they it's like, the way I try to describe it is like learning to drive. Like, we all have to have patience for learner drivers because we were all learner drivers, and sometimes like you have to fight hard to have that patience. And I hope that if I'm 25 books in, that I'll be as approachable to newcomers and debut authors as the people that are already established are. I mean, it's so fantastic, and it's so lovely, and long may it continue.
Well, listen, you're all nodding at that, and do you know what? I've just discovered and realised why I am not yet an award-winning crime writer. Do you know why it is?
Why?
I can't drive. I have yet to learn to drive.
Never say never.
Happen. Okay, listen, I would love to speak to you, and hopefully we can all speak about your books in much more detail. I'd be delighted to do that for the podcast. But for now, it's Friday night. You guys have won awards. You were right all along.
I was right.
Everyone's been vindicated. We need to talk tattoos more and
Yep.
see Kathy Bates. I love that Kathy Bates is next to Abir Mukherjee's inspired tattoos. Thank you so much again, Tariq and Dave. Huge congratulations.
Thank
You
you.
know how much I love you, and you were right. And here's to bloody Scotland. Let's go to the bar.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much again to Bob and Fiona and bloody Scotland, and also huge thanks to Claire Wilson, to Tariq Ashkanani and to Dave Goodman. Get their books, get all of the books, and come to these events. Honestly, they are the best fun. If you were there at any of them, you'll know that already. If you're a fan of crime fiction, you can listen back to A Kick Up the Arts with Val McDermott, or indeed with Chris Brookmar and Marissa Hatesman, aka Ambrose Parry. We recorded the latter mere hours ago as well, Thursday, whenever that was, also yesterday. That was at the Stand in Glasgow. And if you fancy coming to a live event, why not come and see the wonderful Denise Mina? She's going to be in conversation with me next month at the Stand in Glasgow. It's directly opposite. It's gorgeous. It's in a new house, or a building. It's in a church, Webster's Theatre, opposite Kelvin Bridge Subway. And Denise Mina's going to be with me, 2:30pm, Thursday the 9th of October. We'll talk about Denise's incredible new book, The Good Liar, but we'll also talk about some of the films and books and albums, Scottish ones this is, that Denise loves. It would be brilliant to see you there if you just go onto the Stand website or go onto my website. I'll put some links to tickets, lots of other guests coming up. For now though, thank you for listening. Thank you for getting in touch. Subscribe to the newsletter. And honestly, go to the McIlvanney Prize and Debut Prize long lists, short lists, award winners. Get the books, read them. Hope to see you soon. And thank you, bloody Scotland. Bye for now.